Did y'all watch the Women's Open? Mm-hmm. Did you see Charlie Hull in the last hole? I don't know if the mic picked it up or if she just said it afterwards, but she said, "Shy kids don't get sweets." She's like, okay, well, no way enough. Like, we got to go. Well, I was like, I really like that.
Yeah, we have to remember golf is a game, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, some of us are trying to play as a career, but it is still
still a game.
Welcome back to episode 15 of the Loggerhead Golf Podcast. As you can see from my orange glow, I kept my promise, wore my autographed Ricky Fowler hat because, we took the week off of the 4th. Hope everybody had a good holiday, and Ricky got that dub. So really excited for that one. He's back.
No one got to watch it, but very happy for him.
I know you're excited.
Also want to give a big shout out to Walker Isley. For 2 years in a row now, he just qualified for the USAM yesterday. So congrats, Walker. But I'm going to turn it over to Nikki to introduce our special guest today.
I was going to say real quick before we introduce Kayla, are you going to get Squares golf shoes now? Sepp Straka.
I mean, if they send them for free, I ain't saying no.
If I can shoot 62 with a double bogey on the last hole.
Double bogey on the last hole to win a PGA Tour event.
Yeah.
Squares golf shoes.
Yeah.
That's what it has to be.
Yeah. Had to be the Squares.
3 miles an hour faster.
No, absolutely. Special guest with us today, professional golfer, Loggerhead playing ambassador, UNCW alum, pretty much a legend in this area. Any guy that comes in, he's like, "Hey, you guys ever play that girl?" You're talking about Kayla, yes. No, absolutely happy to have her on. Friend of the business, so really looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, well,
sort of talking about people walking in. We go back to high school golf.
Yeah. Yep.
We played high school golf together, so
I know you beat the brakes on.
There's a lot of stories. Oh my gosh, no, there's a lot of stories there we could dive down at some point.
I still have the scorecard and the ball to this day. First time, because I started playing golf late, and we've talked about this. First course I've ever shot even par at was Land O'Lakes.
No way.
That tournament, yeah, and you were paired with me.
Awesome.
That round. I don't remember much from it. I just know I remember Land O'Lakes.
Yeah, I think par for you now at Land O'Lakes is like 62 though.
There's a lot of water out there, so
we might need to go revisit that.
We might need to revisit that. I've had a few low ones since then, but I still have that 72 ball,
That's
a
cool.
tailor-made lethal golf ball. That's how long ago that was.
That was a dangerous golf ball.
No, absolutely. So, Kayla, tell us a little bit what it's like being a professional golfer.
Sum it up, it's fun. Everybody would say living the dream, but it is a lot of hard work. And fortunately, I've got you guys to help me on the equipment side to keep up with new technology and everything that's going on so I can perform my best. But it's really fun. It'd be easy to just have a 9-to-5 job, but it wouldn't live up to what I'm doing every day. Getting to work out, getting to play practice at some really awesome golf courses around here. River Landing, I typically spend most of my time. Both courses are great. You can't beat the quality of the courses to prepare my game for what we're playing on. Week in, week out. Most of our tournaments are in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas.
And what tour is it you're playing on?
It's the Women's All Pro Tour.
Okay.
So it's the official tour, like under the Epson Tour. The top 5 players at the end of the year, they go straight to stage 2.
Sure.
Which is sort of where you have to get to earn enough status to play on Epson full time.
Right.
The following year.
So it's kind of a feeder tour for the Epson tour.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a formal feeder tour versus just any old mini tour that you play on.
Is there for the Epson Tour, is there Monday qualifiers? Is there?
I think so.
I was going to
I think
say
they removed those. So now there's just Mondays for the LPGA.
And now does the Women's All Pro Tour kind of follow the LPGA around just in case you guys wanted to Monday qualify and have events same week? I know some other mini tours do stuff like that.
What we actually do is each tournament we have, they're looked at as like a tournament qualifier. So the first and second place finisher on each WAP event goes straight to the next Epson event.
Oh, so it's, never mind.
So it's like an Epson qualifier.
That's way better than a one-round shootout.
That's a pretty good deal, yeah.
Yes, yep. And so that's the thing. The owner of our tour, he's done a really good job of providing those opportunities for us to where, when we're here working hard and trying to elevate our game, it's not just for this one tournament. There's more on the line than just the one tournament you're playing in.
Yeah, so it's pretty pressure-packed, I mean, biggest thing, it's everybody knows once Now, Kyle, you haven't turned professional yet, have you?
Just teaching wise.
I was gonna say, once you play for that first round where there's money on the line and you put the entry fee, there's those different nerves, right? I mean, we all kind of go through it, and then I know, especially you, having to do it week in and week out. It's a grind.
It's tough for sure.
Well, we're still playing for the trophy. It's not all about the money.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is a job.
Well, and
it
status.
is about the
Well, yeah.
money. Like, you kind of have to.
Make ends meet.
Exactly. So while you're not consciously thinking about it, you're trying to win the tournament, it's still like, okay.
Well, and it's all the work and resources that have gone into being at that event as well, too. I think it was interesting. Sorry, Kyle. You kind of mentioned that it'd be easy to do a 9-to-5 job.
We're 9 to 6, so
Well.
it's pretty cool.
Thanks. We took the easy path. But so what motivates you to play professionally? What is it? Why would you not want to take the 9-to-5 job?
I just want to see my potential.
Okay.
I've played a lot of sports, but this one by far, I've never been so addicted to this game.
Right.
You hit that one good shot, and I think everybody who's listening knows what it feels like to hit that one good shot or play that one good hole, and you want to do that over and over again.
Absolutely.
And to sort of, be on a hole and draw up a shot and execute that, there's no better feeling.
Yeah.
So to get to do that for a living,
It's pretty cool.
sort of like the ultimate dream.
I say that's kind of like the golfer's adrenaline, right? That's what kind of hooks you and gets you addicted to the game.
Absolutely.
Well, I think with that too, it's more than just playing golf, especially the way you're having to do it. You're not just going straight to LPGA Tour. You're still working too and on your game. Like, it's not you show up, hit balls, and go home. It's an all day grind, and people don't realize whether it's mini tour or PGA Tour or LPGA Tour, it's not as easy as it looks on TV.
Yeah. What most people see is what the 1% of those professional athletes, what that life looks like. Everyone else's life looks so different. It's not jet setting from this tournament to that tournament. It's, I drive to most of my tournaments to not have an airfare and a rental car expense each week. It's cheaper for me to drive when I'm on the road for 2-3 weeks at a time than, have a rental car out up for 3 weeks. And it's little things like that. At this point, I think nothing about driving 18 hours, across the country. I'm like, 12 hours? Oh, that's a short trip. I can get there in a day. But anyone else who sort of hears me say that, they're like, what?
What are you doing? Yeah.
What are you doing? Why not flying? But it's all those little things to try and keep expenses down. And it's more than just playing golf, like you said.
Well, I think that's the thing is these mini tours, they're not what you see on TV either. You're not playing for a $1.5 million purse.
$10,000 is our first place purse week in, week out.
That's for a mini tour. That's pretty good.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, it's not bad at all.
And
With the first and second exemption into the Epson event.
So I was gonna say I've heard nothing but great things about the Women's All Pro Tour. I've played with a few girls that also play on that tour as well, and it's extremely competitive. I mean, which is a great thing. That's what you would want as a professional athlete. You want good competition.
So I officially turned professional in 2019, but didn't play on this tour until 2020, and then COVID hit. And so it's sort of like didn't happen. But from 2020, the few events that we were able to have and put together, to now, the cuts then were +5, +8 could sneak in. Now, +5 is pretty much guaranteed out. Cuts are, 1-2 over or better. There was a tournament at the beginning of June, I think under par, 1 under was the cut. So that just is a testimony to the level of players and the strength of their games. They're getting stronger.
Yeah, the depth of talent in golf has gotten really good.
Well, that was a good question because you had a really good amateur career as well. What would you say that has there been a kind of big jump in that skill level? Have you seen throughout the years of kind of a lot of people trying to go from high end amateur play to turning pro? What does that look like on the women's circuit?
What I would say is you're seeing girls shoot lower scores than you have before. Even look at college scores. Tournaments that I was playing in college, such as the Landfall Tradition that, we hosted, UNCW hosted, Chapel Hill's tournament, LSU's tournament. what wins and the depth of those team scores, they're so much more under par than they were. If one or two teams was under par, I felt like when we were in school, that was a strong performance. And now the majority, of the teams are under par. And you're just seeing girls go lower. They're not afraid to make birdies. They're not afraid to go low. I mean, how many times have we seen people shoot 59 now?
Oh,
That used to be like one of those anomalies. And now it's like, okay.
I've the few kind of mini tours that I play every now and then. I look back and I go through tournaments and I see like opening round 59. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, and even opening round 60, 61, 62, I mean, like the low 60 scores, it's happening every single week, it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, I remember an event a few years ago. I didn't play in it, but it was out Mimosa Hills and a kid opened the tournament with a 59, didn't win after the 3 rounds because everyone just went stupid deep.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, golf is deep. And then I would always say, too, for whatever reason, I always felt like these mini tours, like, I guess everybody's just grinding so hard on them that it also like lowers the score a little bit. You would think you would play to your field, but it's almost like the fields get kind of heightened almost a little bit.
Well, it kind of goes back to what she just said. If you're playing for $2,000,
I mean, you're playing for a trophy, yeah.
and your airfare costs $1,200 to get there plus hotel. I mean, you've got to play to win, and laying up's not playing to win when you're playing for that purse.
Depends on the hole.
I said we all know about playing events where you can't win as much as what you spent to get to the tournament. But
Yeah.
Did y'all watch the Women's Open? Mm-hmm. Did you see Charlie Hull in the last hole? I don't know if the mic picked it up or if she just said it afterwards, but she said, "Shy kids don't get sweets." She's like, okay, well, no laying up. Like, we got to go. Well, I was like, I really like that.
Well, no,
That's
I mean,
not
she
a
said it
shot,
in her interview after. She was like, I think of golf as an activity. It's fun.
Yeah.
So she goes, it's fun to try and go at every pin.
Yeah.
And then like...
yeah, we have to remember golf is a game, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, some of us are trying to play as a career, but it is still a game. So,
But that's also more of that kind of... I mean, Charlie Hull's had a great last few years.
No, she's had a good career.
I mean, so obviously, whatever this mentality that she's doing right now, it's working. Now someone would say, me as a coach, people would say, it's a little aggressive. It's like, well, if you know where your ball's going, why wouldn't you go at every flag?
Well, to me, I also think it fits her personality.
Yeah.
And I think, ultimately that's what you're trying to do is play how you play. Me and you might play differently, but we can arrive at the same result. And I think that fits her.
I'll say I'm a pretty aggressive player.
Yeah,
so.
same. I've always said, and I accept. We kind of joke. I get driver off every tee box.
Yeah, he does.
But that's how I identify, right? I've accepted that. That's what I'm going to do. When I try to step outside of, and I've always said this for every golfer, once you step outside of your normal tendencies and what you're comfortable with, that's where you're going to start to, fail, right? And things are going to go wrong. So you have to know who you are, know what your game is, and
Absolutely.
trust yourself to do that.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, I know not too long ago, we'll kind of transition to your golf bag. Not too long ago, we made an iron change. Right.
Yes.
Well, we say somewhat of an iron change.
We improved.
I was going to say explain to the listeners what we did.
Yeah. So I played the TaylorMade P760s for a while. Really liked them, but the grooves were starting to wear out, and I was like, okay, need to get new grooves. At this time, I wasn't with you guys, but so happy I am now. So I'd gone to the Kingdom down in Georgia. And I'd been there before, so I had a fitter I liked, a builder I liked, and I was like, hey, I really like these irons, but need some new grooves. Obviously, see the new P7 MCs, I think were out at the time, and the P770s. And they were like, well, based on the lofts, that the 760s are, I think the MCs might not be quite right for you. Let's look at the 770s. And I was like, okay. Kind of came down here looking at these, but okay. And hit them, and they were okay. Like, nothing really stood out. It was, really bad until I left. And I was like, what is going on? I just couldn't.
Sounds like we had the same experience.
And I just couldn't, everything was fat.
Yeah.
And, I mean, everything I hit was fat. And I was hitting great golf shots with my 760s. And at this point, Loggerhead and I sort of started working together, and you guys sort of helped me figure it out. Okay, the specs are the same, but you two picked them up, and you were like, no, these feel completely different.
Right.
Like, I don't know how they're specking
They had
out
the same shaft. They had everything the same.
Everything was literally the same except the club head.
Yeah.
And the swing weight was right. It was like,
Yeah.
how in the world? And so you guys figured out that somehow or another the head was feeling heavier to me. And we went back to the 760s. We tried the LA Golf.
And so we tried several different things. Yeah.
But we put the LA Golf in a 7-iron for me to loved it. But it rained for 2 days straight. When I pulled it out the next day, I was like, I can't quite find this. So we stuck with the same exact shaft.
Yeah.
But if that's a testament to if it's not broke, don't fix it, then I don't know.
I'll
what
say
is.
that's ultimately what we came up with. It's
Yeah.
like, because you came in, you're like, my ball flight just seems maybe a touch low and not as spinny, right? And, we take a look at it, and we did it for a few days, and the spin numbers were the same, everything the same. We're like, this looks pretty good. But to our listeners, Kayla's a ball striker. So, I mean, you'll know immediately
Yeah.
if something's not quite right.
Those 770s were so bad, I actually went back to the old 760s that didn't have too many grooves.
Yeah, didn't have any grooves left.
And they were better than the
Yeah.
70s. But we got that straightened out, and then DJ put the fun BBF co-ferrules on there for me. I get a lot of compliments on the white ferrule. I don't know if the girls don't notice the teal stripe in the iron ferrules because I've got the white one on the wedges. But they're like, whoa, that is cool. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Got to look good, right?
I was gonna say we had a gentleman come in last week that I fit, and he was just like, I saw you guys' video. How do you get those cool little end caps on your club? I was like,
Yeah.
oh, the ferrules. I was like, it's like we just have to build them. You can pick them out. He was all fired up. He came in the next week. He knew the exact ferrule he wanted built up, and there you go. He's gonna have his own, and that's the thing. It's just like personalized, right? The white, I put the white ferrules on mine. I thought it would be somewhat distracting. I can't even see it.
I don't even notice
Yeah, I don't
anymore.
even notice anymore. No.
I've used those, I call them old school ferrules for forever. I've always liked them.
Yeah.
But I've always liked old school golf clubs. Kind of touching on what you said about if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and what you found out with your irons. Obviously, we tried some different shafts out, and ultimately we ended up going back into the same setup you had.
Yeah.
And we've always said, from a club fittings perspective, we can fit you into something that may work or perform way better than what your current gamer is or whatever it is that you like. But at the end of the day, the golfer is the one that's got to make that choice, right? You're the one playing the golf club.
Yep.
You're the one that's having to hit that shot, so you have to be comfortable with it. So that's always an element of club fitting is we've got to make sure we take care of what the golfer likes.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, even with my driver, I've got the DI, the graphite design DI 6S in there, and there's a Matori shaft that I can actually get a few more yards out of. But day in, day out, I swing that orange shaft the most consistent. Yeah. It's almost like with the Matori shaft, I need to be, a cold morning, I need to be at 100 miles an hour, and that's kind of tough. But that DI, like as a player, I can feel it. I know where it's at. I know how it reacts. And technology today, I feel like we've come so far. Like, what are we changing? It's so minute.
Right.
Like, just because it's new doesn't mean
It's
going
always
to
better.
make
A big gain.
for exactly.
Well, I was gonna say for those high end shafts like that they're made with the best materials, and Kyle alluded, the tightest tolerances. When it comes down to good players, at that point, they're all going to be great. It's what feels the best to that player, right? So in a pressure pack situation, you have to hit a fairway. Do you care about distance? No, you care about finding the fairway.
The orange one's long enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was
So,
going to say, and when we
Fairway.
played, you
so
hit
the
your driver
Matori wouldn't
well.
make sense because you're not going to really know where it's at.
Yeah.
That one that you absolutely
Right.
clutch.
Yeah.
It'd be great. I mean, you've been kind of doing that with driver shafts.
Yeah,
here.
I've been experimenting around a little bit here last couple of weeks after
What are you tinkering with?
trying out. I mean, honestly, it's basically the exact same shaft. It's just made by a different company, but in my mind, it's different, so it makes a change, right? And I say from experience that I had at a recent golf event, and a shot that I felt creeping into my game, I decided that a shaft I'd played for a couple of years now, there was a miss creeping in that I wasn't comfortable with, and that was changing how I looked at a golf hole and the shot that I wanted to attack. I wasn't able to swing the driver confidently after that point. So I needed to change something. So I'm experimenting with a little different shaft, messing around with the LA Golf DJ series.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, he hit it this weekend. He hit it good.
Yeah, he did good.
We never saw the left
We
miss,
never saw that toe hook.
where it starts left and goes left.
Yeah.
We saw some off the toe, but it didn't hook.
I don't say I purposely hit it off the toe.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah. I'll say, what is schedule wise? What does it look like coming up for you?
Yeah, so I leave Friday.
Awesome.
We got a tournament in Conway, Arkansas. Looking forward to that one. I've got a great host family out there. I call her Mama Jill. They're super nice, really fun, good golf tournament, great course. And then I come home for a week and then fly out to Kansas, Wichita, Kansas, for our sort of season-ending championship, which is the first week of August.
Which course are you playing there?
It's the Founders Course.
The Founders Course.
LPGA Founders Course.
So we played. We had a national championship one year at Sand Creek Station out
Okay.
there. I think it's just outside of Wichita, but golf out there is so good.
Yeah.
If it's windy, though, it's so hard.
And that course is so hilly. Like, I'm sort of driving in, everything looks kind of flat, and then it looks like you're in the mountains, North Carolina, playing golf. I'm like, how did y'all do this?
Yeah.
I was gonna say people from out west that are actually in the mountains, they call our mountains hills. So,
Oh boy.
but
So that wraps up the WAP schedule, and then the end of August, I think it's the 27th through 31st, is Stage 1 Q School out in California. So that's the next thing on the schedule.
Now, where's that? Is that still at Mission Hills?
Yes, so we've got 3 courses we play. Dinah Shore and Arnold Palmer course at Mission Hills. Dinah, obviously known for the A&A for so long, which they now just moved. And then we normally play Shadow Ridge, which is a Marriott course. But they just added, I'm blanking, where do the guys play? The PGA Tour event that's out there? That's where our third course
why
is
am I
going to be.
blanking? Why am I blanking?
It's
it has the like the crazy 17th
it's
hole.
Pete Dye Architect.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's the third course.
it's where the Bob Hope is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now it's called the American Express, but
It's always
I'm
Bob
blanking.
Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
Why did they move the A&A?
I was gonna say that was all. I found
Oh, that was the one tournament. I was like, I want to win that one. I want to
Well,
jump
that's
in
like
Poppy's
the
pond.
one
And I'm like, no.
that's the one women's major that
was
like
the tradition.
Yeah.
that kind of that has the
Sorta-
tradition the Masters have for the
right,
men's.
right.
So when you're sitting there and I'm watching it, the A&A
PGA West.
PJ
PJ
West.
West, yes.
We're sitting there watching, and they're like A&A Inspiration first year, new course. Where was it? Down in Louisiana or something? Because they tried remaking the water jump, but they had to put nets to block alligators or something like that.
Well, they moved. Was it Houston? They just moved
Or
it to?
Houston. Yeah, sorry. Yep.
And
Gator don't play.
gator bait.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I think it had to do with like sponsors and money and whatnot.
I'm sure everything, right?
They moved the senior guys there. They moved a senior guys tournament there.
I can't wait to watch them
And I was
jump
like-
in the water.
That's like the ultimate revenge. Yes, they need to make that
a hip.
official.
Bernhardt just pole vaults off the putter.
Give them a white robe.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was disappointed to see they move that.
Yeah,
tournament.
same. I always like to see traditions upheld.
I mean, it has a lot of great history. I mean, I'm sure probably Lexi Thompson's happy it's moving because she doesn't have to be reminded of that whole rules debacle that she dealt with when she lost the tournament there.
Was it there?
I think it was, right?
I can't remember.
But she got penalized for slow
For
play
the-
at one of the U.S. Opens, right?
Yeah, but she also got penalized because they said that she didn't mark her ball correctly. And then they waited like 3 holes later. And
Oh,
they
no, you're
told
right.
her-
I do remember that.
They told her,
Yeah.
like, some rules official walked up and told her in the fairway. It was I
Yeah,
wish
that was a whole
podcasts were
debacle.
around back then because that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't intentional.
No.
You know, and it's someone sitting at home who's back and forth on a DVR. You know, it's almost like they're trying to find something, you know, so minute. You know, she didn't do it intentionally. And I think that at times hurts the game.
Yeah.
So you're telling me someone sitting on the couch at home's better than the person on TV? I didn't know that.
Well, we've had armchair quarterbacks forever, you know.
Quarterback couch sitters.
Anybody that says Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or
was
you can
gonna
name
say-
a bunch of like who are the greatest quarterbacks of all time, right? But no,
Hey,
they're sitting in somebody's living room.
Hey, we're every weekend we're better strategists
Yeah,
than Ferrari's Formula One team.
Right.
So I mean,
we always pick on them.
we
Pitting Leclerc on lap 18.
But who's on the winning streak right now? Is it not Red Bull?
Yeah,
Oh
Red
my
Bull.
gosh.
Yeah, Max Verstappen looks unstoppable.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. We're veering a little off topic here.
I was gonna say this can get out of hand if we talk about.
Kayla, we kind
Formula
of hit on a little bit earlier about how obviously the mini tour life is different than what we see on TV on like PGA Tour, LPGA Tour. So tell us a little bit about the day in the life of Kayla. What does that look like?
Well, depends on which day you catch me. I'm not typically like, this is my daily routine.
Right.
At 7:30 I wake up and I eat breakfast. I'm not that person. I sort of plan my week, and these are the things I need to fit 3 workouts in. I need to fit, this into my week, and where does that work? Because if there's a pretty day, I do want to go to the beach. We're still trying to have fun, even though this is a job. So yeah, I mean, like we talked about earlier, trying to make ends meet. I have a part-time job at White Lake Golf Course. You guys have played at.
so fun.
We finished second
Yeah.
in the 2-man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna take care of that next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Dang,
part-time
number
job
9
there.
or whatever it was.
Don't even.
Yeah,
you gotta
9.
forget it, Nikki. Forget it.
5-iron off that tee, Nikki. 5-iron.
I made 7 other birdies around just that dang one hole.
That's that one hole. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, so I'll mow the fairways a little closer for you next time.
No, that wouldn't
And
have helped.
that's sort of part of
Don't
it.
try to hook driver on that.
Yeah, a little aggressive there. It's all right. So yeah, I like to mow greens out there. Yesterday we were verti cutting and top dressing and whatnot. Things like that are fun, but to me that's a therapy. But I do get a paycheck for that, and
Right.
it helps with expenses. So it's little jobs like that. Coming down here, you guys helping me fit. I'm fitting that in before I leave because I want to get this straight before I go to Q school. We're talking about a 3-wood, I think, a little later, but
Yeah, we'll touch on that.
But yeah, just, workout wise, I've got a trainer out in Dallas with Valor Sports, and there's an app. He uploads my workouts on the app, whichever day of the week it is. I look at that. But I've also done things like Mach 3 speed training out in San Antonio. And I'm not sort of like a one person fits all. There's a couple exercises I like from Mach 3 that I still do. I feel like it helps my golf game. But I like strength building exercises, and I feel like I can feel and see that direct correlation to my swing and game when I'm doing those type of things, and just feeling overall strong. So fitting those workouts in, obviously trying to make sure you get plenty of short game practice in. Play a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've spent a lot more time in the last year playing golf instead of on the driving range.
Instead of being a range rat.
And I can see a big jump in my game and the comfort level I have on the course because of that. Because ultimately the game's about hitting golf shots, not standing on the range and hitting the perfect 7-iron.
Perfect life.
You don't ever have a stock shot on the golf course. And so trying to practice cut, draw, flighted shots with all the clubs working up through the bag. And then, one of the games I've started playing a lot now is, all the flags on the range. All right, this is the flag I'm going to. I want to cut one and keep it left of the flag.
Yeah.
Or I want to draw one and keep it on the right side of the flag. Because those are the scenarios.
Yeah. It's like I can't miss left here. I can't miss right here.
Exactly.
Are you not afraid to work the ball both ways in a tournament?
So my natural shot's a draw.
Okay.
And in the last probably 6 months, I've got extremely comfortable with a cut.
Okay. Cool.
That I never thought I would ever say. So that feels like a huge jump. So yeah, if there's a flag or, a little dogleg right, I'm not afraid to sort of push one up the fairway.
Sure.
And let it fall to the right a little bit. Instead of, hit a hybrid.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, that's
Or
always
try to aim at trouble and sling a hook back into the fairway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
that's my biggest thing because I've always been comfortable just trying to, and it's probably been more popular here of recent, having that one ball flight and sticking to that one ball flight. I always feel like when I'm going extreme, I mean, it's natural for me to draw the ball, so this past winter, I worked really hard on going back to playing cuts. And when I was playing a lot more professionally, I was playing that cut. And for whatever reason, I just don't have enough time and practice to do it. So like my misses were getting those like thin, kind of spinny right misses.
The Chardonnay fade.
The Chardonnay fade. And with irons, I hate that feeling. Like I hate the feeling of that kind of like off center to where that ball is just moving too much. I'd rather hook the crap out of it because at least I know I hit it solid. So, so I'm back to playing the essentially the slinging draw. But
I have to say that I think the modern golf ball actually makes it a little bit easier to hit a fade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it doesn't spin as much, so you don't have that you don't always, to me, you don't have that worry of, oh, this could go way right as much as what you used to with an older golf ball. So it makes it a little bit easier to commit to that and hit the fade.
I still have to work really hard to hit a cut, so I feel fairly comfortable that it's not going to get away from me. Yeah, just because I'm working so hard to get a little 5-yard fall right. Yeah.
I call my 2-yard draws.
I was going to say, like a 1-2 yard draw is a fade.
Yeah. When I was in college and I was working on draw, I was trying to, get it to fall left. And one of my teammates was standing behind me and she goes, "You hit that straight." I said, "No, I didn't. That fell left. You didn't see it from my point of view. That fell left."
Yeah.
I mean, I think it fell like an inch left, but it fell left.
Whatever it takes to convince yourself, you have to believe in yourself.
Yep.
I'd be kind of curious, or what I'm interested in. Obviously, you played collegiate golf at UNCW, and now you're playing professionally. What are some of the differences between those two that you noticed?
Team golf is one of the major sort of elephants in the room. I'm on my own, and while I do, have several friends out there, and once we get to the tournaments, we hang out and whatnot, it is you.
Yeah.
In college, if you were having a bad day, hopefully
one of your teammates
could pick you up, but it's really all you, out here. For me, there was a lot of people that talked about the transition from like junior golf to college golf and how that would be a big jump, and then college golf, amateur golf or whatnot to professional golf. Honestly, to me, from junior golf to college golf wasn't that big of a deal, because I was like, well, I'm already representing West Bladen High School. We were already representing a high school. Now it's a college. Same sort of thing. I didn't think it was, that different. But from college golf to professional golf, where it's not just a W or L, or a top 10 or, missed cut, there is a monetary value that's attached to that. And as much as you try and, at this level, it does kind of matter.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not making money, then it's a hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a job.
And an expensive one.
A very expensive one. So if you're not sort of keeping, this is a game, have fun, and keep the monetary perspective out of it.
Right.
Just hit shot A to point B to, it sort of keeps things in perspective.
Setting different goals, right?
Absolutely.
I was going to say, you have a funny story. Explain the golf ball situation that's been happening at tournaments.
So I've got the Loggerhead bag, obviously, hat and whatnot when I'm playing tournaments, but you guys give me golf balls. Well, I play a TaylorMade golf ball. So most of the girls, I don't know why, but they play Titleist and whatever. Sorry, Caleb, I know you're Titleist, but
that's all right.
They're like, "Oh, I got a Titleist 1." Another girl's like, "Oh, I got a Titleist 4, black line or whatnot." And I go, "I got a TaylorMade," and that first of all catches them off guard. But then when I go, "Oh, I got a TaylorMade Turtle," they're like, "What? What do you have?"
Yeah, I got a turtle.
So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm playing a TaylorMade Turtle with a hot pink dot," and they're like, "Is that legal?" There's no number on there.
Hey, it's a distinct marking.
So,
That's all the rules have to
technically,
say.
I don't even have to put the hot pink dot on there because I'm pretty sure no one's playing with the Loggerhead Turtle.
Let's face it, in Arkansas, it's probably going to be the only turtle out there, right?
Probably. Yeah. So yeah. No, it's a good golf ball, and I like it's unique.
Yeah, I was going to say TaylorMade's done some pretty cool stuff where you can have their My Symbol program. So technically anybody can, call Loggerhead, "Hey, I want custom golf balls," or whatever. We kind of did this, and you saw it, and you're like, "Hey, cool, I'll play it."
Love it. Yeah, I love the American flag in the North Carolina, state outline.
Yeah, outline.
Yeah.
Well, I used to always play number 1s. Now I just play number 3s in tournaments. That's just my favorite number. But 1s, but I would draw the 1 would be the left side of the N. So technically you can never see the number on my golf ball.
Okay.
I used to have a superstition about 4s for whatever reason. In a typical type
can't play
of stuff, you got a
twos.
sleeve of 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. For whatever reason, I could not play golf with a 4.
2s are my practice balls.
And then I made a hole in one with one day.
So
And now 4s are like, I can get rid of the sleeve of 2s. For whatever reason, I'm snake bit with 2s,
Oh, wow.
No, I can't play number 2s. 2s are my, if I get a new set of balls, those go right into the practice bin.
Wow.
For wedge practice and stuff. We'll never play a 2 in a tournament.
So, Titleist, they do 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, TaylorMade, because they've got a 5-piece golf ball, they don't do 4, they do 5.
Yeah.
5s are always practice round balls. If I tee up a 5 in a tournament, just know it's probably the last golf ball in my bag. We are not playing with a 5. I feel like that's just asking for a bogey.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell people all the time, 5s are never good on a scorecard. So I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, 5 a par on a par 5,
But that still ain't good.
that's still ain't good. They ain't good enough.
My mom, she doesn't play golf, but one of my biggest supporters calls after the round, whatnot, and she goes, "What happened today? You had a couple picture frames on the scorecard." She goes, "We've got to keep those off."
Yeah.
She goes, "But there were no matte picture frames. That means we kept the double bogeys off the card." And I'm like, "Yeah, Mom, we need more circles, but picture frames,
Need more portraits then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like golfers are funny with their habits or their superstitions, but
Yeah.
Do y'all have superstitions?
Oh, yeah.
we don't have enough time to talk about them.
I have to play with a distinct ball marker. It's just a $50. I think my grandfather gave it to me, and it's not that it's a special one. It's just it's something I've always played with, and I have to have 3 tees in my pocket.
I can't do that many tees.
If I break a tee, I will immediately go to my golf bag and put one in my pocket before I do anything else.
Okay, so I'm a 3-tee person, but I will not replace those tees until I've gone through all 3 of them. So it's 3, and then whenever we go through them, even if we're on the last hole, it's 3 more that go in the pocket.
And I go back and forth, but I would also never use a plastic tee in a tournament. I have to use wood tees. It just feels different.
Yeah,
Absolutely agree.
I used to like the wood tees, but I like the plastic tees now. I feel like it's gonna sound weird.
You like the
I like a tall tee, and I feel like the ball sits up higher on the plastic tee. So it's like, ooh, I can really get after it, But I'm 1 tee, and then that's all. I can only have 1 tee in the pocket, and like I feel like that just jumps up the pocket. Have you got more than that? A 50 cent is my ball. 50-cent coin is my ball marker. I've used it forever. I can't remember when I started using it. I was probably about that tall. And when I mark my ball, because if you know a 50-cent ball marker, you have on the head side is on mine. We have different versions. It's and it's so worn out now. It's Lady Justice because she's wearing a blindfold, and then on the back side is the American Bald Eagle. So I always have to put mine on tails with the American Bald Eagle.
I was gonna say I do the same thing. I always am on
and then
tails.
the eagle is I always turn it toward the eagle's looking at the hole.
Oh, goodness.
Right. So and then whenever I have to move my spot for somebody to get out of somebody's line, I turn the eagle away from the hole. So when I look down, if the eagle's not facing the hole, I know I got to place my mark back.
Okay.
So that's kind of like my little safety net for that.
Yeah.
And then my divot tool, I use. You remember those old green save? They used to be free giveaways. Like they're just a flat piece of stamped steel. Like they used to, when they started having to charge for them, they were 5 cents.
Yeah.
I've used one of those forever. I don't like a real fancy.
I have a
divot tool.
super rusted one that I've always had from when I worked at Baldhead,
and
that's the only
it's
one
worn
I
out
use.
from going in the
sure
ground.
it's
So
probably fairly sharp,
It's
too.
sharp. I've cut myself short. But
boy.
like a plain Jane, I don't like a big one because it's real skinny,
Yeah.
real slim. So
What do you have,
Yeah.
Kyle?
That's why I'm just chuckling. As I'm one of the, they can just hear how crazy golfers are, right?
yeah, I know. I mean, the golfer's mind is wild.
And for me, when I play golf, I really don't have any. I guess I mark my ball the same way. I put a pink dot on each side because I wear pink on Sundays. But ball marker wise, I've got a C3 Custom Golf custom made me a Mandalorian ball marker. So I've got
the way.
yeah, and then it's got my my best friend unfortunately passed away. So it's got his name on it. So every time I play golf, I always use that ball marker. Not that it's a superstition. It's just a way that every time mentally, obviously coming off surgery, golf's not been a lot of fun, but
It helps you get to your happy place.
correct. When I look down, I see obviously the Mandalore helmet and then his name. So and then the pink dots with breast cancer awareness. It just kind of puts me back in perspective a little bit of there's more than just golf. So I think that's a resetting moment. So not that it's a superstition. It's just a way for me to have a little bit of zen.
As I get into a good headspace.
Another one, and I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's a superstition, but it's just kind of one of those ticks that bother me, is when you put 2 clubs, let's just say you're bringing 3 clubs up with you, 2 wedges and a putter to the putting green. If I drop my wedges and the grips are crossing, I will immediately run over and move them. I can't have any X's.
Oh,
so
wow.
when I've been in a
You're
tournament,
going to freak me out for my next tournament.
I've had people in the middle of a tournament where they notice I have my towel and stuff, they'll just walk over and put their own grip on top. That's fine. If they put their grip on my grip, I ran from across the green because I saw it and it bothered me. So I was like, I'm gonna go pick this up and put this grip to the side.
If only I knew
X's-
this in high school golf.
X's are never good. X's are never good.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say like keeping it going, right? Hat to me is very important. I can only wear certain hats,
Okay.
and like I won't wear a hat in competition if I haven't played and wearing it and like just playing a fun round of golf and played a good round with that hat on. I'm
wow.
superstitious. So if you see me wearing a hat and it's got sweat stains all over, it looks awful. I ain't found a good hat to replace that one yet.
Interesting.
I will say, if I have a really bad round, I will never wear that shirt again.
That shirt is going in the trash can.
Yep.
You know, like I'm getting rid of everything. We might as well burn that stuff.
I think I need to change careers. Golf psychologist.
Golf is hard. It's like,
Take a lot of money.
golf cart
Just with the
numbers.
three of us.
I say it all the time. It's a process, Kyle. Okay, at least I'm sticking to my process.
Like golf cart numbers are really important.
Oh Jesus,
You know, like if I have to take a golf cart,
can't be number 11.
well, you know, 3 raise hell, praise Dale. I'll take that.
I agree.
Okay, 88's okay because of Dale Jr.
That's right.
8's fine.
And then,
Eight's good.
Yeah.
well,
That's still Junior's old number.
but that's getting too close to like an 8.
Ooh, a snowman.
So
Well,
then I'm like, all right, so I'll ride in anything from like number 29 to say 35,
Okay.
or from like 59 to 71.
You ever driving a 44?
No, I won't get in that cart. I kid you not, I have done this before.
You can tell we're from North Carolina, by the way. If we're talking about racing and golf cart,
I've done this before. This is gonna be hilarious. So,
Caleb will always let me drive in the golf cart.
I will never let you drive again. So I have done this in a tournament. We had to take carts as one of our Carolinas PGA events, and I get loading up on the cart, and the 2 carts for our group because we played in foursomes, right? Our cart number I think was like number 44, and I looked over at what and theirs was like 33. I was like,
Yep.
pull the name slide.
No way.
No, that was when we played in the mountains.
I've done it several times.
Oh my gosh.
It's like I can't ride in that cart.
So what cart number did we have when we played the 2 minute at the lake? Do you remember?
I don't remember
Was
what
it
the
bad?
number was, but I made sure it was an okay number.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next time we play, I'll make sure we have a really good one.
Oh, don't worry about it. He'll switch it.
I'm
I
going to still make sure. I'm just superstitious. That's why I noticed that Eagle Point didn't have numbers on their carts.
yeah.
That was the first thing I noticed about
Now,
the cart when we loaded on.
What about the time you get to River Landing? They've got like a 112. They're
Well, then
freaking
it's
so
just
large.
like, okay, I just ignore the 1, and it's like,
Okay.
okay, like if I got
That's
into a
motocross numbers. We're
163,
good there.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
if I
mean,
get into like a 163, okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Something like that, you know. But yeah, it's got to be certain numbers.
tell us you're
very,
a racing
very-
fan without telling us
Yeah.
you're a racing fan.
Well, it's more about like if I see that 42 or 44 on there, like I feel like I'm going to shoot a 44. I don't
Yeah.
want to do that.
Yeah, it's like the 5 on the golf ball.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
It's the
asking
same
for
thing.
a bogey.
Yeah, just asking for bad
Yeah.
luck.
That's
I don't know
right.
why I don't dislike 2s. It's just the 2 doesn't look right.
I can't play with a 2 anymore.
Chipping ball, putting ball.
You know, I used to really love even numbers. I mean, my favorite number is still 12. You know, that was sort of basketball, softball, jersey number 20, my birthday day. But in golf, I like 1. I like 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather play with those numbers than a 2 or a 4. Now, 5 obviously is excluded from that.
I'm kind of saying I like the odd numbers too.
Yeah.
It's weird, but odd feels right.
To each their own.
Yeah.
To each their own. As
So
long
when-
as you do the same thing every time, I can't argue it.
100%. You know, and like I joked.
Now, if your superstition's changing every day, then
No, you
like
ain't-
Kyle
then
was saying, we
it's
might need
not
to
a
go see. We
superstition.
need to. We might need to go see somebody.
As I've always said, it really doesn't matter what your process is, as long as you have a process and like you own it, you stick with it. So,
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, we wish you the best coming up.
Yeah.
These next
Thank
few
you.
events.
Thank you.
Obviously, we're here for you in your corner. If you guys have any questions about Mini Tour, we'd be happy to answer those questions. And look forward to next week. We've got the Open Championship. So, tune in for that. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, turn on those push bell notifications, and we'll see you on the next one.